Good day, everyone, and welcome to Kimo Designs. So, today in this video, we'll be working on this flyer or artwork, and in our next video, we'll be working on this flyer too as well for the same company. So, I want us to open our Photoshop and do something. In the description, we have the resources in there. If you extract it, you get everything, both flyers, that's this video and the next video. So we can create a new file and we'll give it a name, Green Gold Company. Then we'll save the file as in PSD. That's our daily routine. Then you save it nicely. Then you come to your Windows swatches to prepare our color palette. Create a folder, Green Gold Company. Then I will add this color as my primary color. So make sure you have the same code here. Hit on OK. Add it to be our primary color. Then I'm going to use this color code again as my secondary. So I'll add it and that will be my secondary color. And lastly, this code will be my accent color. So I'll add it and to be my accent. So if you check the flyer very well with the background, we have two images. That's the mountain at the top and the crops at the down. And we have a texture with a background color or solid color to be green. So let's do that real quick. So you come here and you add a solid color to be this, that's the green. Then we will bring in the images, these images. Click on the check or commit. Then I'll take the first image out, that's the eye. So I'll blend this with the background. So I'll enlarge it a little. Hit on the commit and add a layer mask. Hit on G on your keyboard, hold on shift and take a clean from the top. Make sure the opacity is somewhere 90. Okay. Then I'll click on the entire image, change it to multiply nicely like that. Come to the move tool. Then I'll select the second image. I'll bring the eye on. Increase that one too. And I want this section where the lighting is coming from. So I want this side. Hit on commit. Add a layer mask. Do same by hitting G on your keyboard. Hold on shift and take it to the top nicely like that. So I'll change the image blending mode to screen. Then what I'm going to do is I'll duplicate this color fill on top of the images and change the blending mode to multiply again. But this time around, I want the light to show behind the mountain. So I'll click on the layer mask on the color fill and click on B, that's brush, and I'll increase the brush and make sure the background color, the foreground color, sorry. Then I will take a perfect clean, but it's too hard. I want it to be soft. So I'll reduce the flow to somewhere 40, that's 42 is fine. So a soft clean will do. And that will be nice. Okay. So if you clean enough and you want to change it, you can just hit on X on your keyboard and it will change. You can check from here. X will change it from foreground to background. Okay. So this side I want it to the dark to show. So I'll click on X and the dark will show like that. And we are good to go. So I'll add a noise to this and we'll group everything as background. To add a noise, I'll come to the new layer, add a new layer. edit, fill, make sure it's 50% gray and 100% opacity. Okay, filter, noise, add noise, and make sure the amount is 3, uniform, monochromatic is checked, and you hit on OK. Then you change the blending mode to overlay. So when you do that, it will blend with the background in terms of saturation where there is light and darkness. That's the bottom side. So I can change the layer 1 to noise, and I'll group them by selecting the noise, hold on shift, select the color fill, control J to group them nicely. Double click on the group 1 and background. You change it and you lock it. We are cool with the background. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is to add dimensions. So we'll come to the view, guides, new guide layout. So I'll click on that. Make sure your column is checked out. You don't need any column, you don't need any rows. We need the margins. So you check the margins in with 50 pixels, 50 pixels, 50 pixels. Okay. Then you hit on OK. So you have 50 pixels border dimension. So we can bring in the logo. So this is our logo. We drag and drop it in the file. But the logo came with a border. That's the box around the logo, and we want to take it out. To do that, you can use the magic eraser tool. So you select the logo, you rasterize it. I'm using pen tablet, so I'll give it a pressure hold like this to load, and it will pop up nicely to rasterize. You can also right click if you are using mouse. Then you come to your eraser, you right click and magic eraser tool. Then you click on the border, then boom, we are done. So you would select the move tool, and before you would reduce the size, make sure you convert it back to smart object so that you maintain the quality. Okay, so I'll give it a pressure hold to load, convert to smart object. You can also right click, we'll get the same result. Then I'll reduce it. So let me take the swatches inside and zoom in like that. Make sure it's aligned to the top and to the left too as well. And I'll add the hashtag in here. So if you check the extracted file, I have the theme or the write-up. You can double click, and this is how it's going to be like. So I would copy the hashtag, Control C as in copy, add a text. So I'll hit on T, and I'll change the color at the top here. I'll change the color at the top here. So I'll hit on the color swatches, and I'll change it to our accent. Okay, this will be our accent color. But I want, okay, this will be our accent color. Cool. So I'll click on that. Then I would paste it like that. But I want to change the font to Lufga. Okay, and I think with this color it should be the same as the logo color, should be the same as this. Okay, so we shouldn't use the accent but rather the logo color. So we will change it from bold to somewhere medium. That's fine. Then we'll give it a distance 7, use it to somewhere 6, 5, 6.5 or 5.8 is fine. Leave it here. So to use the color picker to select color from the artwork, let's zoom in. So I'll select this text, click on the color, and I'll use the color picker to pick the color from the background, and that's extremely white. So we can do that to have a uniformity. Okay, that's amazing with this. So let's group the two as in the logo and the hashtag. So I'll click on the logo, the hashtag, and Control G. So we have logo and hashtag. So we are cool. The next thing we will do is to bring in the tractor. Okay, so we will move into our file. Then we will drop it nicely like that, but we want to change the position or the direction. So to do that, you can click on any of the points around the image to activate the free transform. So if I click on it, you see we have this two crossbar on the image, or Control T will do same. You right click, then you flip horizontally because it was flipped vertically by default. So you will flip it horizontally and we will reduce the size of the image and comment nicely. Zoom in. So we are going to add realistic shadows beneath the thighs, as in like a moving tractor. Okay, so we add a new layer, hit on B on your keyboard, that's the brush, and it is too big in terms of the size. To change it manually, you click on this small drop down here, then you change the size to be like this. Okay, so you change it nicely like that. Now if you check the foreground for the brush, it is white, so when we try and add shadow, it will come as white. We don't want it like that. So you will click on this small box here. When we click on it, it will come back to default. So the foreground will be black, meaning we can add shadow to the flyer. Okay, and make sure the flow is somewhere 90 to 100 there. So you can click on just a click and we will have a deep shadow. So if you hit on the move tool and this icon here at the top, you can hold on shift, and this point at the top, you hold on shift and drag it to the down, and you will bring it beneath the tractor. Okay, and duplicate it. So to duplicate that, you will hold on Alt and duplicate it nicely like this to this side. Hold on Alt and duplicate it to the last tie. So I would copy all and group them, Control G. Give it a name to be tractor. Then I will lock it like that. So I'll zoom out and add our text to it. So if you check, we have the secret of our success and a modern agri company, Green Gold Farms. So the secret of our success, I'll copy that, hit on T, that's our text, change the text to Bibas, regular to bold, and the font to somewhere 33, and C. We are doing a random guess. So Control V to paste it and click on the check, hit on V, double click again, then we will break it down like that. So let's add some spacing between them. 29 is fine. So we will bring the text beneath the tractor. Okay, so let's delete this text. So we have one text here, we have the tractor, the logo and hashtag, and the background nicely organized. So we will change the color to our secondary, that's this, take it back, then you apply some highlights on the secrets. So go back to the swatches and take the accent color. That's cool. So I want us to add shadow, image shadow. If you check the art, we have image shadow, that's the shadow of the tractor. Okay, so I'll click on the tractor like this. It has been locked, so I will unlock it. Click on the tractor, it has been selected. FX, drop shadow, and I'll take it to somewhere negative 135. That'll be cool. And hit on OK. The opacity will be somewhere 20 or maybe 20, 23. It's fine. Distance 12, spread 1, and size will be 8. Hit on OK, and we have the same effect in there. So you can go back, click on the tractor, and lock it nicely like that, and zoom out. So the next thing we'll do is to add a modern agric company, Green Gold Farms. So I'll hit on T, come back like this, change the color to white, extremely white. I want us to use the logo color. So I'll click on it. I'll add the text, change it to Lufga, change it to somewhere regular, and change this to somewhere 5. That's the size. Hit on OK. Yes, then I'll double click in the text box and it will be highlighted, and I'll Control V to paste another text. Or we have a, let me check the readings again, a modern agric company. So a modern agric company, that's Green Gold Farms. So I'll hit on V on my keyboard to activate the move tool and reduce the spacing to somewhere 7. That's cool. So 5 is fine. Now change the Green Gold Farms to this color. That's the accent color. Okay, I'll change it to the accent color. If I change it to the secondary color, that will be too bright. So I'll change it to the accent so that they will have some margins. Okay, yes. So I'll hit on the check. That'll be cool. And I'll add the lines around them. This is the line tool. If yours is not showing, you will right click. You right click on the rectangular tool and you see the line tool. Then you select it. So I'll zoom in here. Then I'll add a line. So I'll hold on shift so that it will draw a perfect line to the right. And come back in here. Hit on V, that's the move tool. Click on the line. Add a layer mask. So I'll click on G, that's the gradient. Hold on shift and take some light fade from the line. And I'll hit on V. So I'll duplicate the line like that. So to duplicate it, I'll hit Ctrl J on my keyboard. Then I'll hold on shift and the down arrow to bring it down nicely like that. So I'm cool with this one. I'll copy the first line, the second line, and I'll reduce the opacity to somewhere 50. That is cool. Ctrl O will bring it back to 100% zoom. I think we are done with this. So I'll copy the text, the lines, and the modern, everything. So the line and the modern, I'll group them. So that will be, let's name it slogan. So the secret text and the slogan, I'll group them and I'll name it main text. So we have everything organized in here. So I'll bring the main text beneath the tractor. Okay, yes, because I want the success to be beneath the image. Then we will add the body text here. So we will move into our description, Ctrl C, come in here, hit on T on your keyboard, change the font to Lufga, change the style to regular, and change this to maybe 5.5 and C, and hit on Okay, now we are coming to draw instead of a single click. You use the text to draw a text box. So you draw like a rectangle like that so that it will fill with a lot of text. And now if you check the preferences, we have more spacing, and I think it is all caps too as well. So I'll just click on this to change it to small letters. So Control V to paste whatever I have in there. Okay, so I would reduce the text. So I'll double click everything and reduce. Let's change it to maybe 5.8 and see. 5.8 will be fine. And let's add letter spacing. So that's the tracking to somewhere 25. So when we zoom in, I think we can read. And it seems like the regular is not fine. Let's change it to light. Yes, the light is great. So the light is more readable than the regular. So this will be fine. So I'll copy one of the lines. That's this. So I'll move to the main text. Slogan here. We have one line here. Control J. Then I'll bring it down. So I'll hold on Shift and the down arrow to bring it down nicely like that. But I have to group it with the body text. So I'll click on the line and hold on Control and click on the text and Control J so that it will be out of the main text. Then I'll lock the main text. Hold on this one and rename it to body text. Then I'll lock it. Or I'll bring it to the top a little because we'll be having other informations at the bottom. That's cool. So if you check the art, we have one information here and we have the email and the Instagram website in here. So let's work on the address. So I'll right click and grab a rectangle, draw a shape, a nice shape like this, add some border radius, hit on V, hold on Shift and expand it into the down like that. Hit on OK. I think that's fine. Let me reduce this line, okay? The body text, the line in there, I'll reduce it to somewhere 25. That'll be cool. So let's add the address. So I'll duplicate this one, or I should use a new text. Any of them will work, okay? So let's use a new text and see. Or duplicate this. So Alt, duplicate, go in here, copy everything, Control C, double click and paste like that. And I'll reduce the size. So I'll bring it to the top and change the color to somewhere green or the background color. But I would change the light to regular, okay? So I'll expand it, zoom in here, reduce it like that. I'll give it somewhere 5 and see. 5 is fine. Let me change it to medium. Medium is more visible. And we have the working hours too. So I'll drag all to the top like that. And duplicate this. Move into our working hours. Control C, Control V. Then I'll reduce the text box, the size for the text box. Sorry, I'll bring it down. Then I'll change the working hours. I'll break the Monday and Friday down and change the color because I want there to be spacing. So I'll pick a color in the rim, the tie. Now I'll do same to this. So visit as I'll come to the swatches and that color will be here as recent. So it will be the same. Okay. So I can copy this, double click and reduce the text box. And second one and group them, Control G. So we have the text and the box like this. So I'll reduce it nicely like that. Add more radius. Yes. Then I want to center align them. Okay, that's the box and the image. The box and the text. So I'll click on this. That's the text. Rename it to text. And the rectangle. So I've selected all and center align it here. So when I click on it to center align them and horizontal alignment. So we have equal spacing from the top and the down. That's nice. Let me check my analysis well. Yeah, that's all. But I think the color for this, they are too hard. That's the black. So I'll go into the text box and maybe pick some green here and add some light green on it. So make sure you have this same color code. Okay, hit on OK. I'll do same to the hours. Come to the swatches and it will be at the recent. And I think we have a uniform color instead of the black on it. And what next? So we will draw shape in here, add a text box, change the color to the secondary, that's swatches and secondary like that. But that rectangle is in the text, so I'll take it out and make sure they are grouped. So I'll come back and do that. We have to organize our works very well. So I'll zoom out the text rectangle, Control G, and that will be our address. And working hours. So we would lock that nicely, and the body text too. You can lock that nicely and continue working. So I would make sure the border radius is quite equivalent to this one, okay, so that there will be consistency. Okay, and I'll duplicate this. So I'll hit Control J, hold on Shift and drag it down and change the color to this. drag this to the top, reduce it like that, hit on enter and center align them. So I'll center align it. So that's green. Okay, so this is green. I think the background color. And I'll bring in the icons. So email, Instagram, okay, website and Instagram. So I'll zoom out, copy all, put on shift, copy all, and reduce everything at once. Then I'll zoom in again, grab the first one. So you see how we are suffering here. So I'll select the shape and lock it, select the second one, lock it, and now I can have access to any of the icons. So the Instagram will come here. So I'll change the color for this to be green. So let's grab this FX color overlay and I'll change the color to this green. Hit on OK. Then I'll add the number and the email. So this is the number. Let me copy all like this. Zoom out. Hit on T on your keyboard. Then I'll paste it in here. Hit on V. Take away the image. Copy the email. Control X to cut. Comma and paste. So I'll select this. So this will be the email. I'll select both of them and I'll group them, Control G, then I'll center align. I'll bring it close like that. Email, then I'll center align it nicely. Now it's left with the IG and the website. So with the IG, we will change the color overlay to yellow. Change the color to yellow like this. Hit on OK. Then we will duplicate the color overlay to the website. So this is the website one. This is the color, the IG one. So I'll hold on Alt whilst hovering on the color overlay and click and drag to the top. So it will copy and paste the same thing. Okay. All right. So to get the same dimension, I'll drag a ruler on top of this. Drag a ruler. So let me zoom in. So they all have the same dimension. Okay. Then I'll copy this text and I'll change the color because it is green on green. So I'll change it to yellow and maybe to regular. Zoom out and change the IG name. That's Green Gold Farms Ghana. Control C. So I'll reduce that to somewhere 4.5 would be great. I'll duplicate that hold on shift so that it will move straight. Okay, and I'll bring in the website to gingyf.fans. So I'll double click on this and control V, and I'll add it nicely. So I want the spacing between the icon and this to be the same as the website. So we have 17 for both. That's great. So I'm coming to copy all like this, Control G as one, but it is inside the email folder, so I'll bring it outside so that it will be only this and this. Then this will be the IG and website. Then I'll center align it nicely like that. But let me zoom out for you to see. I'll select that with the IG and center align them both horizontal and vertical. So it has moved to the middle, but I'll drag them back like that. And I think the spacing between this and this are not the same. So I need to organize them too as well. So the parent rectangle will be reduced, and I'll pick the IG, the email, the rectangle, and group them as info. That's information, and take it together with the rectangle and center align them. Okay, yes. I think we are cool with the art. Okay, so we are going to add a rainbow lighting on the art like that. Then because we have a black background with the lighting in there, we'll change it to screen so that the black will be outside. Then we'll reduce the opacity to somewhere 11, so it's not going to show much. Okay, it's not going to show much. So we are even done with the art. We have some highlights here. That's the time. Okay, so I'll zoom in here, lock the rainbow, double click in the text box, highlight this one, that's the time, and we'll change it to semi bold nicely like that. Okay, and the green farms too, you can do justice to that. The body text, we would move into the body text, the text box like this, and change the color to be gold. Let's add some white to it so that it won't distract the reading or the entire body text. Okay. All right, so I think this is really cool. And when I zoom in, I can just reduce the fill so that the tie will show. The tie can show nicely. And I think we are done with our touches. Okay, that's all. So see you next time in the next tutorial. Subscribe, like, and comment. Ask questions in the comment section and I'll reply to that. Thank you.